Stop Scrolling, Start Living by the Protocols of Astrian. Have you ever picked up your phone just to check one quick thing, and then looked up to find that an entire hour has vanished into thin air? You are not alone in this, and it is certainly not your fault, because these little devices were built by very smart people to keep us hooked for as long as possible. That feeling of losing time can leave us feeling tired, overwhelmed, and strangely empty, even though we have been consuming so much content all day. It feels a little like we have been watching everyone else live their amazing lives while our own life quietly slips through our fingers. But here is the wonderful secret that this book wants to share with you. You have the power to take it all back, starting right now. This book is your friendly guide, your personal map, to help you step away from the glowing screen and walk toward a life that feels richer, slower, and truly yours. We are going on an adventure together to discover that the world outside that tiny screen is colorful, noisy, and absolutely waiting for you to jump in. Putting down the phone is not about giving something up, but it is about gaining something so much bigger and more beautiful than you can imagine. Think of it as clearing away the fog so you can finally see the sunshine, the faces of the people you love, and the path that leads to your own happiness. Inside these chapters, you will not find any complicated rules or difficult words that make your head spin, but you will find simple ideas, gentle challenges, and real-life stories that feel like a conversation with a good friend. We will laugh together about our silly scrolling habits, and we will cheer together as you discover the tiny, wonderful moments that you have been missing every single day. The goal here is not to make you feel guilty about the past, but to fill you with excitement for the future that is waiting just beyond your screen. So take a deep breath, put your phone face down on the table for just a little while, and let us turn the page together. Your real life is calling, and it is going to be the most incredible story you will ever live. Chapter 1: The Magic Box in Your Pocket. Let us be honest for a moment and admit that our phones really do feel like magic boxes, because they can answer any question, show us any place, and connect us with anyone in the whole wide world. This little rectangle holds our music, our photos, our maps, and our friends, all tucked neatly inside a device that slides right into our back pocket. It is a wonderful tool that has made our lives easier and more fun in so many ways, and it is okay to love having it around for all the good things it provides. But here is the tricky part that most people do not realize. This magic box was also designed by geniuses to be absolutely irresistible to our brains. Every time we get a notification, our brain gets a tiny little squirt of a chemical called dopamine, which is the same chemical that makes us feel happy and excited. This means that every buzz and ping trains our brain to keep checking, to keep pulling, and to keep wanting more, just like a little video game that never ends. Understanding this is the first big step, because it helps us see that our struggle to put the phone down is not a personal weakness, but it is a battle against some very smart technology. Once we understand how the magic box works, we can stop feeling so frustrated with ourselves for falling into its little traps every single day. You are not lazy or undisciplined. You are simply reacting exactly how any human would react to a machine that was built to capture your attention. Those bright colors, those little red notification bubbles, and those videos that automatically play one after another are all carefully planned strategies to keep your eyes glued to the glass. Think of your phone like a super loud, super colorful carnival that follows you everywhere you go, constantly yelling for you to come play another game. It is exhausting to be at a carnival all day long, and your brain gets tired of all the noise without you even realizing it is happening. The good news is that once you know the tricks, you can start to see them coming, and you can choose not to fall for them anymore. This knowledge is your new superpower, and it is going to help you turn that magic box back into a simple tool that works for you. So let us pull back the curtain just a little bit more and look at some of the sneaky tricks these apps use to keep us scrolling endlessly through our feeds. Have you ever noticed that when you watch one funny cat video, suddenly your whole feed is full of funny animals, And that happens because the app is learning what you like so it can show you more of it. This is called an algorithm, and its only job is to figure out what keeps you watching for the longest time possible. The apps also use something called variable rewards, which is just a fancy way of saying you never know what amazing thing you might see next, so you keep pulling down to refresh. It is exactly like a slot machine in a casino, because sometimes you see something boring, but sometimes you see something hilarious or shocking, and that possibility keeps you hooked. They also make it really hard to stop by automatically playing the next video or by hiding the clock so you lose track of time. When you see all these clever tricks laid out in front of you, it becomes much easier to smile and say, "Nice try, but I am smarter than that." Now that you know the secrets, I want you to take a moment and just look at your phone with new eyes, seeing it not as a master, but as a servant that is there to help you when you need it. This simple shift in how you think about your phone is the foundation for everything we are going to build together in this book. You are taking back the driver's seat, and you are deciding when you look at the screen, instead of letting the screen decide for you. It feels really powerful to understand that you have been played, because then you can decide to stop playing the game altogether. You are not fighting against yourself anymore, but you are teaming up with yourself against the tricks of the machine. This realization alone will make you feel lighter and more in control before you even change a single habit. Give yourself a little pat on the back right now for being brave enough to learn the truth and for wanting something better for your life. This first chapter is not about making you throw your phone in the trash, because that is not realistic, and it is not what we are trying to do here at all. We just want to change the relationship you have with that little device, so it becomes a helpful friend instead of a bossy roommate. You will still use it to call your mom, to find directions to a new coffee shop, and to take pictures of your delicious dinner, all the things that make it useful. The difference will be that you will use it on purpose, with intention, and then you will put it away and forget about it for a while. Imagine having a phone that sits quietly in your bag all afternoon while you actually enjoy a walk in the park with a friend. Imagine going to bed without scrolling for an hour and waking up feeling truly rested for the first time in years. Those are the small, beautiful victories that are waiting for you just around the corner, and they start with this new understanding you have gained today. We are at the very beginning of a wonderful journey together, and I am so happy you are here with an open mind and a willing heart. You have already done the hardest part, which is deciding that you want something different and showing up to read these words. The chapters ahead are full of simple steps, encouraging thoughts, and practical ideas to help you build a new life that feels more peaceful and more exciting at the same time. Remember that this is not a race, and you do not have to change everything by tomorrow, because small, gentle steps are the ones that actually last. Just keep this new knowledge in your back pocket and start noticing today how many times you reach for your phone without really thinking about it. Be curious about your own habits, like a friendly scientist studying a fascinating subject, and be kind to yourself along the way. You are doing something amazing for yourself, and I am so excited to walk this path with you, one simple chapter at a time. Chapter 2: The Scroll Trap and How to Spot It. Imagine you are standing in line at the grocery store, and it is moving a little slowly, and suddenly your hand is reaching into your pocket for your phone without you even telling it to do so. This is what we call the scroll trap, and it happens so automatically that we barely even notice we have fallen into it until we are already inside. It is like your body has a mind of its own. Programmed to grab the phone the very second there is a moment of silence or a tiny pause in the day. These traps are everywhere, hiding in plain sight, waiting for us during commercial breaks, in waiting rooms, or even when we are just sitting at a red light. The problem is that by filling every single empty moment with scrolling, we never give our brains a chance to rest or to just be still. We are afraid of boredom, so we run away from it straight into the arms of our screen, without realizing that boredom is not our enemy at all. The very first step to escaping any trap is learning to see it clearly, and that is exactly what we are going to practice together in this chapter. Let us go on a little treasure hunt to find all the scroll traps that are hiding in your normal, everyday life, so you can become a professional trap spotter. The most common trap is the waiting trap, which happens anytime you have to wait for something, like for your coffee to brew, for a friend to arrive, or for a website to load. Another big one is the alone trap, which happens when you find yourself by yourself, even for 5 minutes, and you feel a tiny pang of loneliness that you quickly cure with a screen. There is also the awkward trap, which is when you are in a social situation that feels a little uncomfortable, so you look at your phone to avoid having to talk to people. The boredom trap is the one we all know well, where any task that feels even slightly dull sends us running for the endless entertainment in our pocket. And do not forget the bedtime trap, where you tell yourself you will just look at one thing, and then suddenly it is 2 hours later and you are very tired. By simply numbing these traps and noticing when they appear, you take away a lot of their power to catch you by surprise. Now that you know where the traps are hiding, let us talk about the feelings that usually come right before we fall into them, because our emotions are the biggest clues. Most of the time, we reach for our phone not because we need it, but because we are feeling a tiny bit of discomfort that we want to make go away fast. Maybe you are feeling a little bored while waiting for the pasta to cook, or maybe you are feeling a little anxious about a conversation you need to have later. Perhaps you are feeling tired but do not want to go to sleep yet, or you are feeling lonely and want to feel connected to someone, even if it is just through a screen. These feelings are totally normal and human, and they are not bad things to experience at all. The problem is that we have trained ourselves to use the phone as a quick escape from any feeling that is even slightly uncomfortable. What if you could just sit with that feeling for a minute, breathe, and let it pass without needing to escape? That is the real superpower we are building here, the ability to be with ourselves, even when it feels a little strange. So let us practice a new habit together, and it is a simple one that you can start using today, right this very moment if you want to. The next time you find yourself in a scroll trap situation, like waiting in line or sitting through a commercial, just pause and take one deep breath before your hand moves toward your phone. In that tiny pause, ask yourself a quick question like, do I really need my phone right now, or can I just be here for a minute? Look around at your surroundings and notice one thing you had not seen before, like the color of someone's jacket or the way the light is coming through the window. Give your brain a little challenge to see if you can survive 2 whole minutes without looking at the screen, just to prove to yourself that you can. You might be surprised to find that those 2 minutes feel a little uncomfortable at first, but then they start to feel kind of peaceful and nice. This small practice of pausing is like building a little muscle, and the more you do it, the stronger and easier it gets over time. The more you practice spotting the traps and pausing before you fall in, the more you will start to notice something wonderful happening in your daily life. You will realize that you actually have more time than you thought you did, because you are not losing all those little moments to the black hole of your screen. Those 5 minutes waiting for your friend to show up become a chance to watch the clouds move across the sky or to just breathe and feel the sun on your face. Those moments of boredom become little gifts of quiet that let your mind wander to creative places and come up with new ideas. You will start to feel less rushed and less scattered, because your brain is getting those tiny breaks it desperately needs to recharge and feel calm. It is like you are reclaiming all the lost coins of time that used to fall through the holes in your pocket, and now you can save them up for something better. This new awareness is the key that unlocks the door to a slower, sweeter, and much more present way of living every single day. Remember that this is a skill you are learning, and like any new skill, it takes a little practice and patience with yourself when you forget and fall into a trap anyway. There will be days when you catch yourself scrolling without thinking, and that is totally okay, because noticing it is actually a victory in itself. Just gently smile, put the phone down, and go back to whatever you were doing without any guilt or frustration at all. The goal is not to be perfect because nobody is perfect, and that is not what this journey is about at all. The goal is to become more aware, more awake, and more in charge of your own choices, one small moment at a time. Be proud of yourself every time you notice a trap, and be proud of yourself every time you choose to pause, even if you still end up picking up the phone later. You are rewiring your brain for a happier, healthier life, and that is some of the most important work you will ever do. Chapter 3: Clearing the Clutter, a Digital Cleanup. Welcome to Cleanup Day, my friend, and I promise you this is going to be a fun and satisfying experience, not a boring chore at all. Just like a messy room can make you feel stressed and overwhelmed without you even realizing it, a messy phone can do the exact same thing to your brain. All those apps you never use, those photos you do not need, and those notifications that buzz constantly are creating noise and clutter in your mind. Today, we're going to put on some happy music, roll up our sleeves, and transform your phone into a calm and peaceful place you actually enjoy looking at. Think of it like spring cleaning for your digital life, where we toss out the junk and organize what is left so everything feels light and easy. You will be amazed at how much better you feel when your phone is clean and simple, and how much less you want to mindlessly scroll through it. So take a deep breath, grab your phone, and let us get started on this exciting makeover together. The very first thing we are going to do is go on a deleting spree, and it is going to feel so good to get rid of all the apps that are just taking up space for no reason. Open up your phone and look at every single app, one by one, and ask yourself honestly, when was the last time I actually used this? If the answer is more than a month ago, or if you cannot remember what it even does, that app has got to go, and you can always download it again later if you really need it. Be especially tough on games that you play just to kill time, shopping apps that tempt you to buy things you do not need, and social media apps that you just open and close without thinking. Every single app on your phone is competing for your attention and begging you to come visit, so the fewer you have, the more peace you will feel. It is like we are pulling weeds out of a garden so the beautiful flowers have room to grow and breathe. Watch how satisfying it is to see that little X appear and the app wiggle and disappear, because each one you delete is a little victory for your freedom. Keep going until you are left with only the apps that truly bring value, joy, or usefulness to your real life. Now that we have cleared out the big weeds, it is time to tackle the annoying notifications that buzz, ping, and light up your screen all day long, demanding your immediate attention. Go into your settings and look at every single app that is allowed to send you notifications, and be honest about which ones are actually important enough to interrupt your day. Do you really need to know the moment someone likes your photo, or when a store you visited once has a sale on shoes? Probably not, and those little interruptions are breaking your focus and pulling you out of whatever you are doing, over and over again. Turn off notifications for everything except the things that truly matter, like calls or messages from real people you love. This one simple change will dramatically reduce the number of times you look at your phone each day, and it will give you back so much mental energy. Your phone will stop screaming at you all the time, and it will become a quiet tool that waits for you to come to it when you are ready. Imagine the peace of a day without constant buzzing and beeping, and know that peace is just a few taps away in your settings menu right now. The next step in our digital cleanup is to organize your home screen so that it looks beautiful and calming, instead of chaotic and stressful. Move all your apps off the main screen and into a simple folder in your app library, or organize them neatly onto a second page where you can find them when you need them. On your main home screen, put only the few apps you use every single day for essential things, like your phone, your messages, your camera, and maybe a map. Choose a simple, peaceful wallpaper that makes you feel happy when you look at it, like a photo of a forest, the ocean, or someone you love. The goal here is to make opening your phone feel like opening a calm, tidy room, not like walking into a noisy, crowded marketplace. When your home screen is clean and simple, you will feel less urge to tap around and explore, because there is nothing chaotic calling out for your attention. You have turned your phone into a tool that serves you, rather than a messy playground that tempts you to stay and play. Finally, let us do a quick and easy cleanup of your photos and your inbox, because digital clutter lives in those places too, and it can weigh on your mind without you knowing it. Spend just 10 minutes deleting blurry photos, screenshots you no longer need, and old pictures that do not bring you joy anymore. Create a simple folder system for the photos you want to keep, like one for family, one for trips, and one for fun memories so you can actually find them later. For your email, unsubscribe from all those newsletters and promotional emails that you never read and that just pile up in your inbox every single day. There is a little link at the bottom of every marketing email that says unsubscribe, and clicking it is one of the most freeing feelings in the world. Clearing out these digital piles makes your whole life feel more organized and under control, even though they are just files on a screen. You are creating space in your digital world, and that space will bring a wonderful feeling of calm to your real world as well. Congratulations on completing your digital cleanup, and take a moment to really appreciate all the hard work you just did for yourself and your peace of mind. Look at your clean, simple phone and notice how much calmer and more inviting it feels compared to the cluttered mess it was before. You have removed hundreds of tiny distractions and temptations that were constantly pulling at your attention every single day. From now on, when you pick up your phone, it will be because you actually need it for something, not because a notification lured you in or because a tempting app caught your eye. This clean, peaceful phone is a physical reminder of your commitment to living a more present and intentional life. Keep it this way, and do another little cleanup every few months to make sure the clutter does not sneak back in. You have created a tool that supports your new life, and that is something to be truly proud of. Chapter 4: Reclaiming the Lost Moments. Have you ever thought about all those tiny little moments that disappear from your day, the ones that are too short to really do anything important, but too long to just ignore? We are talking about the 5 minutes waiting for the toast to pop up, the 3 minutes standing in line at the bank, or the 2 minutes sitting at a red light. In the past, people would just stand there and think, or look around, or daydream, but we have filled every single one of these tiny gaps with our phones. We have been taught to believe that these moments are worthless, just empty space to be filled and killed as quickly as possible. But what if we have been wrong all along? And what if these lost moments are actually tiny treasures full of possibility? This chapter is all about reclaiming those little pockets of time and turning them into something beautiful, restful, or fun. Get ready to discover that the best parts of your day might be hiding in the smallest spaces you never noticed before. Let us start by simply noticing how many of these little moments you actually have in a single day, and you might be surprised to find that they add up to a lot of time. Keep a little mental note today of every time you reach for your phone during a pause, and just notice how often it happens without any judgment at all. You might find that you scroll while the water is boiling for your tea, while you are walking from the car to the office, or even while you are brushing your teeth at night. All of these tiny moments, when added together, can easily become an hour or more every single day that you are not really present. That is a whole hour of your precious life that is being poured into a screen, and imagine what you could do with that hour if you reclaimed it. You could daydream, you could breathe deeply, you could notice the world around you, or you could simply rest your tired brain for a minute. The first step to reclaiming these moments is simply seeing them and understanding how much they are really worth. Now let us brainstorm some wonderful and simple things you can do in these tiny pockets of time, things that will actually make you feel good instead of drained. When you are waiting for your coffee, try looking out the window and finding 3 beautiful things you can see, like a bird, a flower, or a pretty cloud in the sky. When you are standing in line, practice taking 5 slow, deep breaths and feel your shoulders relax as the air fills your lungs completely. When you are walking somewhere, pay attention to the feeling of your feet on the ground, the breeze on your skin, and all the little sounds happening around you. You could also use this time to think about something you are grateful for, or to send a quick, loving thought to someone you care about in your life. These tiny practices will turn your waiting time into refreshing little breaks that leave you feeling calmer and happier than any scroll ever could. You are transforming empty, wasted moments into small islands of peace in your busy day. One of the most magical things you can do in these reclaimed moments is to simply let your mind wander, which is something we almost never allow ourselves to do anymore. Daydreaming used to be a normal part of human life, and it is actually when our brains do some of their most creative and important work. When you let your mind drift without any purpose, you might suddenly remember something you had forgotten, or come up with a brilliant idea for a problem you were stuck on. You might also process feelings from your day that you have been pushing aside, which helps you feel more balanced and emotionally healthy overall. All of this good stuff happens automatically when you give your brain a few minutes of quiet without any input from a screen. It is like letting a field lie fallow so the soil can rest and become rich again for the next planting season. So do not be afraid of boredom, because boredom is actually the doorway to your own imagination and inner wisdom. Think of these reclaimed moments as tiny gifts you are giving yourself throughout the day, little presents of peace and presence that cost nothing but mean everything. Every time you choose not to scroll, you are choosing to be fully alive in that moment, and that is a powerful and beautiful choice to make. You are telling yourself that your own thoughts and your own experience are more valuable than anything a screen could show you right then. You are building a new relationship with time, where you are no longer trying to escape it, but you are learning to enjoy it and be comfortable inside it. This is a huge shift in how you live your life, and it will make you feel richer and more content without you having to change anything else at all. Start small, just pick one moment today, like waiting for your tea, and decide to just be there without your phone. Feel how different it is, and notice the little sense of freedom that comes with that simple choice. As you practice reclaiming these lost moments, you will start to notice that your days feel longer, slower, and much more satisfying than they used to feel before. The rush and the blur will begin to fade, and you will actually remember more of what happened each day because you were present for the small stuff. You will feel less tired, because your brain is getting all those tiny rest breaks it was missing when you were filling every second with stimulation. This is not about doing more or being more productive. It is actually about doing less and being more present, which is a much sweeter way to live. Celebrate every single time you catch yourself and choose to stay in the moment, because each one is a victory for your new, more intentional life. You are becoming the kind of person who lives their life instead of just watching it go by, and that is a beautiful transformation to witness. Chapter 5: Boredom is your friend. We have been taught our whole lives that boredom is a bad thing, something to be avoided at all costs, like a terrible disease we must cure immediately. From the time we were little kids, if we said, "I'm bored," adults would quickly try to give us something to do, as if boredom was a problem that needed solving. We grew up believing that being bored means something is wrong, and that we should fill every empty second with activity or entertainment right away. But here is the big secret that nobody ever told us. Boredom is actually one of the best things that can happen to our creative and happy brains. When we are bored, our minds stop paying attention to the outside world and start playing inside our own heads, which is where all the magic happens. In this chapter, we are going to flip everything you thought you knew about boredom upside down and turn it into your new best friend. Get ready to discover that boredom is not empty time, but it is full of possibility and hidden treasures. Let us take a little journey into your own brain for a moment and understand what actually happens when you allow yourself to be truly bored. When there is no outside stimulation coming in, your brain activates something called the default mode network, which is just a fancy name for your mind's natural resting state. In this resting state, your brain starts connecting ideas, making sense of memories, and planning for the future in a really creative and helpful way. This is when those aha moments happen, when a solution to a problem pops into your head out of nowhere, or when you suddenly remember something important. It is also when you process your feelings and figure out what really matters to you, which is hard to do when you are constantly distracted. So boredom is actually your brain's way of tidying up, filing away memories, and getting itself ready for whatever comes next. When you reach for your phone the second you feel bored, You are interrupting this important inner work and keeping your brain from doing its job. Think of boredom like a fallow field, which is a field that farmers leave empty for a season, so the soil can rest and get all its nutrients back. If you plant crops in the same field every single year without giving it a break, the soil becomes weak and nothing grows well anymore. Your brain is exactly the same, and if you fill it with constant input every waking moment, it becomes exhausted and cannot think clearly or creatively anymore. The empty, boring moments are when your brain rests and restores itself, getting ready for the next burst of activity and learning. When you let yourself be bored, you are giving your mind the break it desperately needs to stay sharp and healthy. This is not lazy or unproductive. It is actually one of the most productive things you can possibly do for your long-term happiness and creativity. So the next time you feel boredom creeping in, try to welcome it like an old friend who has come to help you rest. Let us do a fun experiment together right now to prove to yourself that boredom is actually pretty wonderful and not scary at all. Put your phone in another room, or at least face down where you cannot see it, and set a timer for just 5 minutes. For those 5 minutes, you are not allowed to do anything. No reading, no talking, no music, just sitting or standing there with your own thoughts. It might feel a little uncomfortable at first, like an itch you want to scratch, but just notice that feeling and let it be there without running away from it. After a minute or two, you will probably notice your mind starting to wander, thinking about your plans for the weekend, or a conversation you had, or something you want to try making for dinner. This is your brain doing its happy, healthy work, and it feels kind of nice once you get used to it. When the timer goes off, notice how you feel, and you might be surprised to find that you feel a little calmer, a little clearer, and maybe even a little more creative than before. When you stop running away from boredom, you open the door to all kinds of wonderful things that were waiting for you just on the other side. You might discover that you actually enjoy just sitting and thinking, and that your own inner world is a pretty interesting place to hang out. You might start having more ideas for projects, for things you want to create, or for fun adventures you want to go on with people you love. You might also find that you feel less anxious, because you are not constantly trying to escape your own feelings by distracting yourself with a screen. Boredom teaches you to be comfortable with yourself, just as you are, without needing anything else to make you feel okay. This is one of the most valuable skills a human being can learn, and it is something that very few people in our busy world ever develop. You are building a superpower that will serve you well for your entire life, and it all starts with welcoming a little boredom. So from now on, I want you to change the way you talk to yourself when that familiar feeling of boredom shows up in your day. Instead of thinking, "Oh no, I'm bored, I need to find something to do," try thinking, "Oh good, a little break for my brain, I wonder what it will come up with today." See boredom as a signal that it is time to rest, to wander, and to let your mind play freely without any rules or goals. Protect your boring moments like you would protect a precious treasure, because they truly are rare and valuable in this noisy world. When you are in line at the store, resist the urge to pull out your phone and instead just stand there and be bored on purpose. When you are lying in bed waiting to fall asleep, let your mind drift instead of grabbing for a screen to scroll through. You are making friends with boredom, and that friendship will bring you more peace, creativity, and happiness than any app ever could. Chapter 6. Finding Your Real-World Fun. Do you remember what you used to do for fun before smartphones took over the world, back when you had to actually go outside and do something to entertain yourself? Maybe you rode your bike around the neighborhood, or you built forts out of blankets and pillows, or you spent hours drawing silly pictures in a notebook. Perhaps you loved playing board games with your family, or you would put on music and dance around your room like nobody was watching. Somewhere along the way, we replaced all that real, hands-on fun with the easy, lazy fun of scrolling through a screen. The problem is that screen fun leaves us feeling empty and tired afterward, while real-world fun fills us up with energy and happy memories. This chapter is all about rediscovering the things that truly light you up and bring you joy, the kind of fun that makes you lose track of time in the best way. Get ready to remember who you are and what you love, away from the glowing screen. Let us start by taking a little trip back in time to when you were a kid, and think about the activities that made your heart sing with happiness. What did you love doing so much that you would beg your parents for just 5 more minutes before you had to stop? Maybe you loved building things with Lego, or you loved being in the water at the pool, or you loved reading comic books under the covers with a flashlight. Perhaps you loved being in the kitchen, mixing up weird ingredients to create your own special recipes that probably tasted terrible. These childhood passions are clues to the things that your soul truly enjoys, and they are often still waiting for you, even if you have not thought about them in years. You do not have to be a kid to enjoy kid things, because fun has no age limit, and play is something we should never grow out of completely. Make a little list in your mind right now of 3 things you loved to do as a child, and just see how those memories make you feel. Now that you have some ideas from your past, let us think about what might be fun for you right now, in your current life, with the person you have become today. Maybe you have always wanted to try painting, but you never gave yourself permission to be bad at it and just enjoy the process. Perhaps you would love to learn how to bake a perfect loaf of bread, or how to garden and grow your own tomatoes and flowers. You might enjoy going for hikes in nature, joining a casual sports league, or learning to play a musical instrument just for the joy of making noise. The key here is to pick something that feels playful and exciting, not something that feels like another chore or obligation on your to-do list. This is about pure, simple fun, the kind that makes you smile for no reason and forget about all your worries for a while. Give yourself permission to be a beginner at something new and to enjoy the learning process without needing to be perfect at all. One of the best kinds of real-world fun is the kind you share with other people, because connecting with humans face-to-face is something our hearts are designed to do. Think about inviting a friend over for a game night, where you play silly board games and eat snacks and laugh until your stomach hurts. Plan a picnic in the park with people you love, where you sit on a blanket and talk, and watch the clouds go by without anyone looking at a phone. Join a book club, a hiking group, or a cooking class where you can meet new people who share your interests and want to have fun too. Real laughter with real people is one of the most healing and joyful experiences in the whole world, and it cannot be replaced by any amount of likes or comments online. When you are having fun with others, you are building bonds and memories that will warm your heart for the rest of your life. Put down the phone and pick up the phone to call a friend instead, because connection is what we are all really hungry for. Do not forget about the simple pleasure of moving your body in ways that feel good, because exercise does not have to be a chore you force yourself to do. Find a type of movement that actually feels like play, whether that is dancing in your living room, swimming in a lake, riding a bike, or practicing yoga in the grass. When you move your body just for the joy of it, you release all kinds of wonderful chemicals that make you feel happy and alive. You also get to be inside your body instead of inside your head, which is a great break from all the thinking and worrying we do all day. Your body was made to move, and it feels good when you give it a chance to stretch and run and play like it is supposed to. So put on some music and have a solo dance party, or go for a walk just to see where your feet take you, with no destination in mind at all. This is your life, and your body is your home, so have some fun living inside it. As you start filling your life with more real-world fun, you will notice that your desire to scroll starts to shrink all on its own, without you even trying very hard. Why would you want to watch someone else bake a cake on a video when you could be in your own kitchen, making a mess and licking the spoon yourself? Why would you want to look at pictures of a beautiful hike when you could be outside, feeling the sun on your face and hearing the birds sing with your own ears? Real life is so much richer, so much more colorful, and so much more satisfying than anything a screen can offer you. You are not giving up entertainment. You are trading it in for a much better kind, the kind that leaves you feeling full instead of empty. So go ahead, be a little silly, try new things, and remember what it feels like to truly play. Your real-world fun is waiting for you, and it is so much better than you remember. Chapter 7: The Art of Deep Looking. When was the last time you really, truly looked at something? Not just glanced at it, but really studied it with your full attention and curiosity. We spend so much of our day looking at flat images on a small screen that we have forgotten how to see the incredible world that is right in front of our eyes. The sky is not just blue. It is a million different shades of blue, with clouds that are constantly changing shape like living, breathing paintings. A tree is not just a tree, but it is a complex world of bark, leaves, insects, and shadows, all doing their own beautiful dance together. When we rush through life with our heads down, we miss 99% of the beauty that is surrounding us every single moment of the day. This chapter is about learning the art of deep looking, which is simply the practice of paying close attention to the world with wonder and appreciation. Get ready to open your eyes and see that you are living inside a masterpiece. You just forgot to look up and notice it. Let us start with a simple exercise that will wake up your eyes and teach them to see again, and you can do it right now, wherever you are sitting. Pick one object in your immediate surroundings, maybe a plant, a coffee cup, or even just your own hand, and look at it for a full minute without looking away. Notice the tiny details you have never seen before, like the tiny lines on your skin, the way the light reflects off the surface, or the subtle variations in color that you never noticed. Let your eyes wander slowly over every part of the object, like you are exploring a new country for the very first time with wonder and curiosity. You might be surprised to find that even the most ordinary thing becomes interesting and beautiful when you really look at it this way. This is what deep looking feels like, and it turns the whole world into a fascinating museum that is free and open to you all the time. Practice this little exercise a few times a day, and you will start to see magic everywhere you go. Now let us take this new skill outside into the bigger world and go on a little adventure of deep looking in your own neighborhood or local park. Go for a slow walk, slower than you normally walk, and pretend you are seeing everything for the very first time through the eyes of a curious child. Notice the patterns in the cracks of the sidewalk, the way the light filters through the leaves of the trees, and the tiny flowers growing in unexpected places. Look at the faces of the people you pass and wonder what their stories might be, where they are going, and what they are thinking about today. Pay attention to all the different colors you can see, from the bright red of a mailbox to the soft gray of a pigeon's feathers. The world is absolutely bursting with details that we normally filter out because we are too busy looking at our screens. When you practice deep looking, every single walk becomes an adventure, and every day becomes full of small, beautiful discoveries. Deep looking is not just about seeing beautiful things, but it is also about being fully present in your own life and actually living it instead of rushing through it. When you are really looking at something, you cannot be worrying about the past or planning for the future, because your mind is fully occupied with what is right in front of you. This is a form of meditation, a way to calm your busy mind and give yourself a break from all the thinking and stressing you do all day. It connects you to the world around you and reminds you that you are part of something huge and amazing, not just a tiny person alone with their problems. You start to feel more grounded, more peaceful, and more grateful for the simple gift of being alive on this beautiful planet. This feeling is always available to you, anytime you choose to lift your head and really look at where you are. You do not need to travel to faraway places to find wonder, because wonder is hiding in plain sight, right outside your door. One of the most wonderful things about deep looking is that it costs absolutely nothing, and you can do it anytime, anywhere, completely by yourself. You can do it while you are waiting for the bus, while you are sitting in a parked car, or while you are taking a break from work and looking out the window. It turns boring, empty moments into little gifts of beauty and presence that fill you up instead of draining you down. You might start to notice the way the light changes throughout the day, the way the seasons slowly transform the trees, and the way the city sounds create their own unique music. You become an explorer in your own life, always finding new treasures in the most ordinary places. This practice will make you feel richer and more alive than any amount of money or any number of likes on a screen ever could. The whole world is a wonder, and you have a front row seat if you only remember to look. As you make deep looking a regular part of your life, you will notice that your relationship with your phone changes in a really beautiful way. You will no longer feel the need to take a photo of everything you see, because you will realize that truly seeing it with your own eyes is so much better. You will stop looking at the world through the lens of your camera and start experiencing it directly, with all your senses fully engaged. The sunset will no longer be something you capture for later, but it will be something you soak in right now, letting its beauty fill your whole heart. You will have memories that are not stored on a device, but stored deep in your soul, where they can warm you forever. This is the art of deep looking, and it is one of the simplest and most powerful ways to start living instead of just scrolling. So go ahead, look up right now, and see what you have been missing all this time. Chapter 8. Listening with your whole heart. In a world where we are constantly texting, commenting, and posting, we have somehow forgotten how to truly listen to another human being when they are speaking to us. How many times have you been in a conversation with someone while also glancing at your phone, half listening while your mind is somewhere else entirely? Real listening is becoming a lost art, and it is such a shame because it is one of the greatest gifts we can give to another person. When you truly listen to someone, you are telling them that they matter, that what they have to say is important, and that you care about them deeply. It is not just about hearing the words they say, but it is about understanding the feelings behind the words and connecting with their heart. This chapter is all about rediscovering the beautiful art of listening and learning how to be fully present for the people in your life. Get ready to build stronger, sweeter relationships just by using your ears and your heart together. Let us start by thinking about how it feels when someone truly listens to you, and you will probably remember that it feels absolutely wonderful and rare. When someone looks you in the eyes, nods along, and asks questions that show they are really understanding you, you feel seen and valued. You feel like what you have to say actually matters, and you feel closer to that person than you did before the conversation started. This is the magic of deep listening, and it is something we all crave, even if we do not always realize it. Now think about how it feels when someone is half listening to you while looking at their phone, and you know that empty, disappointing feeling all too well. It feels like you are not important enough to deserve their full attention, and it makes you want to stop talking altogether. We have all been on both sides of this, and now we have a chance to become the kind of listener that makes people feel loved. So how do we become better listeners, especially when our phones are always buzzing and our minds are always racing with a million thoughts? The first and most important step is to put your phone away completely when you are talking to someone, out of sight, not just face down on the table. When your phone is visible, even if you are not looking at it, a part of your brain is still wondering if a notification just came in. Next, look the person in the eyes, not in a creepy staring way, but in a warm, friendly way that shows you are really there with them. Try to really hear not just their words, but also the feelings underneath, like whether they sound happy, sad, excited, or worried about what they are saying. Ask them questions that show you are curious about their experience, and let them talk without interrupting or jumping in with your own story right away. These simple practices will transform your conversations and make people feel truly heard and cherished by you. One of the biggest obstacles to good listening is that we are often too busy thinking about what we are going to say next, instead of actually hearing what the other person is saying. We are just waiting for our turn to talk, planning our response in our heads while they are still speaking, which means we miss half of what they share. Next time you are in a conversation, try a little experiment and just focus completely on them, trusting that the right words will come to you when it is your turn. Let go of the need to be clever or to have the perfect response, and just be there with them in the moment. You might find that the conversation flows more easily and that you feel more connected than you usually do. Listening is not a passive activity, but it is an active choice to give someone your full attention as a gift. This gift costs you nothing, but it means everything to the person receiving it. Think about all the conversations you have every day with your family, your friends, your coworkers, and even the cashier at the grocery store. Each one of these moments is an opportunity to practice the art of deep listening and to brighten someone's day just by being present. When you really listen to the cashier and ask them how their day is going, you might make them feel seen in a job where people usually ignore them. When you put down your phone and give your child or your partner your full attention, you are building a foundation of trust and love that will last forever. These small moments of connection are the threads that weave the beautiful tapestry of a well-lived life. They are so much more valuable than any online interaction because they are real, they are warm, and they are happening right now in front of you. Do not let these precious moments slip away because you were too busy looking at a screen. As you become a better listener, you will notice that your relationships grow deeper and more satisfying, and that people actually enjoy talking to you more than before. You will learn so much more about the people you love, discovering new things about them even after knowing them for years. You will also find that you feel more connected and less lonely, because real connection is what our hearts are truly hungry for. Listening is not just a skill for other people, but it is also a gift you give to yourself, because it pulls you out of your own head and into the present moment. You cannot be worrying about your own problems when you are fully focused on understanding someone else's heart. So today, choose one conversation and decide to be the best listener you can possibly be, with your whole heart wide open. You will be amazed at the magic that happens when you truly hear another soul. Chapter 9. Moving your body, freeing your mind. There is a deep connection between our bodies and our minds that we often forget about, especially when we spend so much time sitting still and staring at screens all day. When your body feels stiff and tired, your mind feels the same way, foggy and slow and stuck in a rut. But the wonderful news is that the opposite is also true, and when you move your body, even just a little bit, your mind wakes up and feels so much better. You do not need to run a marathon or spend hours at the gym to get this benefit, because even a short walk can work miracles for your mood and your thoughts. This chapter is not about exercise and hard work, but it is about joyful movement and the simple pleasure of being inside a living, breathing body. Get ready to discover that moving your body is one of the fastest ways to feel happier, clearer, and more alive every single day. Let us start by thinking about movement in a whole new way, not as a chore you have to do, but as a celebration of what your amazing body can do for you. Your body lets you dance, stretch, jump, skip, and explore the world, and it feels good when you use it for these things. When you move, your brain releases all kinds of wonderful chemicals, like endorphins that make you feel happy, and serotonin that calms your mind and lifts your mood. This is why you always feel better after a walk, even if you felt terrible before you started, because your brain is literally changing its chemistry. Movement also helps you shake off stress and worry, because it gives your body a way to release all that pent-up energy that gets stuck inside. Think of movement as a natural, free medicine that is always available to you, with no side effects except feeling great. All you have to do is get up and start moving your body in whatever way feels good to you right now. One of the simplest and most wonderful ways to move your body is to go for a walk, and you do not need any special equipment or a gym membership to do it. A walk gets you outside in the fresh air, lets you see the world around you, and gives your brain a break from whatever has been worrying you all day. You can walk fast to get your heart pumping, or you can walk slow and just enjoy being outside, whatever feels right for you in the moment. Try leaving your phone at home or in your pocket so you can really pay attention to the feeling of your feet on the ground and the world around you. Notice how your breathing changes, how your muscles warm up, and how your mind starts to feel clearer with every step you take. A 20-minute walk can completely change your whole day, turning a bad mood into a good one and a foggy brain into a sharp one. This is one of the best habits you can build, and it costs absolutely nothing at all. If walking is not your favorite thing, There are a million other ways to move your body that might feel more like play than exercise. Put on your favorite music and have a dance party in your living room, where you can be totally silly and let loose without anyone watching. Stretch your body slowly and gently, like a cat waking up from a nap, and feel the tension release from your shoulders and your back. Ride a bike around your neighborhood, go for a swim in a pool or a lake, or just play catch with a friend in the park. The key is to find movement that feels good to you, that you actually look forward to doing, instead of something you have to force yourself to do. When movement is fun, you will want to do it more often, and the benefits will keep piling up in wonderful ways. Your body was made to move, and it is waiting for you to give it the chance to play. Moving your body is also one of the best ways to free your mind from the endless loop of thoughts that can trap you in stress and anxiety. When you are focused on your body, on your breathing, on your feet hitting the ground, you cannot also be focused on your worries at the same time. It gives your brain a much-needed break from all the thinking, planning, and worrying that fills up most of your day. After you move, you will often find that problems that seemed huge before now feel smaller and more manageable. You might even come up with new ideas and solutions that you could not find while you were sitting still. This is because movement shakes things up in your brain and helps you see things from a fresh, new perspective. So the next time you feel stuck, overwhelmed, or just plain grumpy, try moving your body for a few minutes and see what happens. As you make joyful movement a regular part of your life, you will start to notice all kinds of positive changes that go way beyond just feeling good. You will sleep better at night because your body is tired in a healthy way and ready to rest deeply. You will have more energy during the day because moving actually gives you energy instead of taking it away. You will feel more confident in your own skin because you are spending time in your body and appreciating all the amazing things it can do. Most importantly, you will feel more connected to yourself, more alive, and more grateful for the incredible gift of having a body that can move through this world. This is not about looking a certain way. It is about feeling a certain way, alive and free and full of joy. So get up right now, stretch your arms to the sky, and thank your body for everything it does for you every single day. Chapter 10: The Gift of Quiet. In our modern world, quiet has become one of the rarest and most precious gifts, something that many of us go whole days without ever experiencing at all. There is always noise, the buzzing of our phones, the hum of the television, the chatter of podcasts in our ears, and the constant background music in every store. We have become so afraid of silence that we fill every moment with sound, even when we are falling asleep or first waking up in the morning. But silence is not empty or scary. It is actually full of good things, like the chance to hear our own thoughts and feelings for a change. In the quiet, we can finally hear ourselves breathe, we can notice how our body feels, and we can listen to the wisdom that lives deep inside our own hearts. This chapter is about making friends with silence and discovering that it is one of the most healing and beautiful experiences in the world. Get ready to turn down the volume on the outside world, so you can finally hear the quiet music of your own soul. Let us start by understanding why we are so uncomfortable with silence, and why we feel the urge to fill it up with noise as quickly as possible. For many of us, silence can feel a little uncomfortable at first because we are not used to being alone with our own thoughts. When it is quiet, we might start thinking about things we have been avoiding, like worries, regrets, or feelings we have been pushing away. It is easier to distract ourselves with noise than to sit with those feelings and let them be there for a while. But here is the secret: those feelings are already there, whether we are distracting ourselves from them or not, and they will keep bothering us until we finally face them. Silence gives us a safe space to let our feelings come up, be noticed, and then float away like clouds passing through the sky. It is only by sitting in the quiet that we can truly process our lives and find real peace. Now let us practice a little experiment in finding quiet, and you can start with just 2 or 3 minutes to see how it feels for you. Find a spot where you can be alone for a few minutes, turn off all sounds, put your phone away, and just sit there doing nothing at all. At first, your mind will probably race, thinking about your to-do list, replaying conversations and jumping all over the place like a busy monkey. Just let it do that without judging it, and after a minute or two, you might notice it starting to slow down just a little bit. You will start to hear the small sounds around you, like the hum of the refrigerator or the birds singing outside the window. You might also start to feel your body relaxing, your shoulders dropping, and your breath getting deeper and slower without you even trying. This is the gift of quiet starting to work its magic, and it gets easier and sweeter the more you practice it. One of the most wonderful things about quiet is that it gives your brain a chance to rest and reset, like pressing a refresh button on a computer that has been running too long. Your brain is processing information all day long, every second you are awake, and it gets tired and overwhelmed without enough breaks. Quiet time is like a mini vacation for your brain, where it does not have to take in any new information or solve any problems at all. This rest allows your brain to sort through everything it has taken in, to file away memories, and to make sense of your experiences. After even a few minutes of quiet, you will often feel clearer, calmer, and more able to focus on whatever comes next. This is not wasting time. It is actually investing in your mental health and your ability to think well. Quiet is not empty. It is full of restoration and healing for your tired mind. Think of quiet as a cozy, safe room inside yourself that you can visit anytime you need a break from the noise of the world. In this room, there are no notifications, no demands, no one asking anything of you, just you and your own peaceful presence. You can go there when you are feeling overwhelmed, when you are sad, when you are angry, or just when you need a little break from everything. The more you visit this quiet inner room, the more you will come to love it and look forward to spending time there. You will start to crave silence the way you might crave a good night's sleep after a long, tiring week. This is a sign that you are healing, that you are reconnecting with yourself, and that you are building a beautiful new relationship with your own inner world. The quiet is always there waiting for you. You just have to turn down the noise and step inside. As you make quiet time a regular habit, you will notice that the noise of the world bothers you less, and that you feel more peaceful even in the middle of a busy day. You will have a calm center inside you that you can always return to, no matter how chaotic things get on the outside. You will also discover that some of your best ideas and deepest insights come to you in the quiet, when your mind is open and receptive. This is your own inner wisdom speaking to you, and it has so much to say if you will only take the time to listen. So today, give yourself the gift of just 5 minutes of quiet, no phone, no music, no distractions at all. Sit with yourself like you would sit with a dear friend, and just enjoy being together in the peaceful silence. You deserve this gift, and your soul has been waiting for it for a very long time. Chapter 11. Your attention is your superpower. Out of everything you own in this whole world, your attention is probably the most valuable thing you have, and yet we give it away so easily without even thinking. Every single day, dozens of apps and websites and companies are fighting to capture your attention, because they know that your attention is worth a lot of money. When you are scrolling, you are not just passing time. You are giving away your most precious resource to people who want to sell you things or keep you hooked. But here is the exciting truth. You are the one who gets to choose where your attention goes, and that choice is your superpower. When you decide to put your attention on something, you are telling the universe that this thing matters, that it is worthy of your one and only life. This chapter is about reclaiming that power and using it to build a life you truly love, one focused moment at a time. Let us think about what attention really means, and why it is so much more important than we usually realize in our daily lives. Wherever you put your attention, that is where your life is happening in that moment, because you cannot live anywhere except right where you are focusing. If you are scrolling through your phone while your child is telling you about their day, your life in that moment is the scroll, not the child. If you are thinking about work while you are eating dinner, your life in that moment is work, not the delicious food on your plate. Your attention creates your reality, moment by moment, and the sum of all those moments is your entire life. This means that choosing where to put your attention is the most important choice you make every single day. When you understand this, you realize that you are not a victim of your habits, but you are the powerful creator of your own experience. Now let us talk about how you can start using this superpower on purpose, instead of letting other people steal it away from you all day long. The first step is simply to notice, throughout your day, where your attention is going and ask yourself if that is really where you want it to be. When you pick up your phone, pause for just a second and ask, is this where I want to spend this moment of my life? When you are with someone you love, notice if your attention is fully on them or if it is wandering somewhere else. This noticing is like turning on a light in a dark room, and it gives you the power to make a different choice if you want to. You might decide to put the phone down and really look at the person in front of you, or to close the laptop and go outside for a few minutes. Every time you make this choice, you are exercising your superpower and taking back control of your life. Think of your attention like a beam of light from a flashlight, and wherever you shine that light is what you will see clearly in your life. If you shine it on your phone all day, you will see a lot of other people's lives, but your own life will remain in the dark. If you shine it on your loved ones, on nature, on your hobbies, and on your own thoughts, then those things will be bright and clear and full of color. You get to decide every moment where to point that beam of light, and you do not have to leave it anywhere you do not want it to stay. This is incredibly empowering because it means you are not stuck, you are not a slave to your habits, and you can always choose again in the next moment. Your attention is your superpower, and you are the hero who gets to decide how to use it for good. What a wonderful, exciting realization that is to carry with you all day. One of the most beautiful things about your attention superpower is that the more you use it, the stronger it gets, just like a muscle you exercise every day. When you practice focusing on one thing at a time, without letting your mind wander or your hand reach for your phone, you are building that muscle. When you choose to be fully present with a friend, even though your phone is buzzing in your pocket, you are making that muscle stronger. Over time, it becomes easier and easier to focus, to be present, and to resist the pull of all those distractions competing for your attention. You will find that you can actually enjoy doing one thing at a time, instead of always trying to do 10 things at once and doing none of them well. Your mind will feel calmer, your days will feel longer, and your life will feel more like it belongs to you. This is the reward for using your superpower wisely and well. So today, I want you to practice using your attention superpower in small ways, just to feel how good it is to be in control. Choose one task, like drinking a cup of tea, and give it your full attention, noticing the warmth of the cup, the smell of the tea, and the taste with every sip. Choose one person and give them your full attention when they speak, without looking at your phone or thinking about anything else. Choose one moment outside and just look at the sky, giving it your full attention for a whole minute without any distractions. Each time you do this, you are reclaiming a little piece of your life and making it fully yours. You are the boss of your attention, and your attention is the architect of your life. What a powerful, wonderful thing to know as you go through your day, shining your light exactly where you want it to go. Chapter 12. Starting Small, the 5-Minute Rule. Whenever we want to make a big change in our lives, we often think we have to do something huge and dramatic, and that pressure can stop us from even starting at all. We think, I need to quit social media forever, or I need to never look at my phone again, and then we feel overwhelmed and give up before we even try. But real lasting change does not usually happen in big, dramatic moments. It happens in tiny, consistent steps that we take every single day. This is where the 5-minute rule comes in, and it is one of the simplest and most powerful ideas in this whole book. The rule is simple. You just commit to doing something for 5 minutes, and after that, you can stop if you want to. This tiny commitment is so easy that you cannot say no to it, and it tricks your brain into getting started without any fear or pressure. Let us explore how this little rule can change everything for you, one small step at a time. Think about how easy it is to do something for just 5 minutes, because 5 minutes is nothing. It is less time than it takes to boil an egg or brush your teeth. You can do anything for 5 minutes, even things you usually dread, because the end is always in sight and you know you can stop soon. If you want to spend less time on your phone, you can tell yourself, I will just put it down for 5 minutes and see how it feels. If you want to go for a walk, you can say, I will just walk for 5 minutes, and if I hate it, I can come right back home. This little trick lowers the wall so much that you can just step over it, instead of having to climb over a huge mountain. Most of the time, once you get started, you will want to keep going, because starting is always the hardest part. The 5-minute rule is like a secret key that unlocks the door to any new habit you want to build in your life. Let us apply the 5-minute rule to some of the ideas we have talked about in this book, and see how easy it becomes to actually do them. Want to practice deep looking? Just do it for 5 minutes while you are waiting for your coffee, and notice the world around you with fresh eyes. Want to move your body? Just put on a song and dance for 5 minutes in your living room, and see how much better you feel afterward. Want to enjoy some quiet? Just sit for 5 minutes with no phone, no noise, and no distractions at all, just you and your breath. Want to listen to someone with your full heart? Just give them 5 minutes of your complete attention, without looking away or interrupting. Each of these tiny practices is completely doable, and they will start to build momentum in your life without you even realizing it. You are not committing to a huge lifestyle change. You are just committing to 5 tiny minutes. The magic of the 5-minute rule is that it builds confidence, because every time you do it, you prove to yourself that you can actually make a change. You start to see yourself as someone who puts their phone down, who goes for walks, who sits in quiet, and that new identity grows stronger every day. After a while, 5 minutes might turn into 10, and 10 might turn into 20, simply because you have built the habit and it feels natural now. You are not forcing yourself to do anything. You are just gently nudging yourself in the right direction, one small step at a time. This is so much kinder and more effective than being harsh with yourself and demanding huge changes overnight. Be patient and gentle with yourself, and trust that these small steps will lead you exactly where you want to go. You have the rest of your life to build the habits you want, so there is no need to rush at all. Another wonderful thing about the 5-minute rule is that it helps you overcome the feeling of being too busy or too tired to make changes. Even on your busiest, most exhausting day, you can always find 5 minutes for something that matters to you. You can take 5 minutes before bed to breathe quietly and let go of the day's stress. You can take 5 minutes in the morning to stretch your body and wake up gently before looking at your phone. You can take 5 minutes at lunch to eat without any screens, just tasting your food and being present. These tiny pockets of intentional living will add up over time, and they will transform your life in ways you cannot even imagine yet. You are not adding more to your to-do list. You are simply reclaiming small moments that already belong to you. This is change that fits into your real life, not some perfect fantasy life that does not exist. So today, pick just one thing from this book that you would like to try, and commit to doing it for only 5 minutes. Maybe you want to try the deep-looking exercise, or maybe you want to sit in quiet, or maybe you want to go for a tiny walk around the block. Whatever it is, make the commitment so small that you absolutely cannot fail, and then do it with a happy heart. After your 5 minutes are up, you can stop, or you can keep going if you feel like it, but either way, you have succeeded. Celebrate that tiny victory because it is real and it matters, and it is building the foundation for a whole new way of living. You are not trying to be perfect. You are just trying to be a little bit better than you were yesterday, and that is more than enough. The 5-minute rule is your friend, and it is here to help you start living, one small moment at a time. Chapter 13: Creating Your New Daily Rhythms. Now that we have explored so many wonderful ideas together, it is time to think about how to weave them into the fabric of your everyday life in a way that feels natural and good. You do not want to have to think about changing your habits all day long, because that would be exhausting, and it probably would not last very long. Instead, we want to create simple, beautiful rhythms in your day that support your new way of living without you having to struggle or force anything. Think of rhythms like a gentle heartbeat, a natural pattern that just happens because it is built into the way you live. A peaceful morning routine, a focused work rhythm, a relaxing evening wind down. These are the containers that will hold your new life. This chapter is about designing your day so that living well becomes the easiest and most natural thing in the world. Let us create some rhythms that will carry you through your days with more peace, joy, and presence. Let us start by thinking about your morning, because how you start your day sets the tone for everything that follows, like the first note of a beautiful song. Imagine waking up and not reaching for your phone right away, but instead taking a few deep breaths and stretching your body gently in bed. Imagine looking out the window at the sky, or saying a quiet thank you for the new day, before you let the outside world come rushing in. You could make yourself a warm cup of tea or coffee and just sit with it for 5 minutes, enjoying the quiet before the busyness begins. This tiny morning ritual, even just 10 minutes long, will change your whole day and make you feel more centered and calm. You are telling yourself that you matter, that your peace matters, before you give your attention to anyone else. Try protecting the first few minutes of your day from your phone and see how different your mornings feel. Now let us think about the middle of your day, when you are working, studying, or doing all the things that need to get done. This is where the phone can be the biggest enemy of your focus, buzzing and pulling you away from what you are trying to accomplish. Try creating a rhythm where you work in focused chunks, maybe for 45 minutes, and then take a short break without looking at your screen. During your breaks, get up and move your body, look out the window, or just close your eyes and breathe for a minute. Keep your phone in another room or in a drawer during your focused work time, so it cannot distract you with its constant demands. You will be amazed at how much more you get done, and how much less tired you feel at the end of the day. Your attention is your superpower, and these focused rhythms help you use it wisely when it matters most. You are building a day that works for you, not against you. As the day winds down, let us create an evening rhythm that helps you relax and let go of the day, preparing your body and mind for a good night's sleep. An hour before bed, try putting your phone away in another room or at least on silent and out of sight, so it cannot pull you into late-night scrolling. You could read a real book, take a warm bath, write in a journal, or just sit and talk with someone you love about your day. Dim the lights, slow down your movements, and give yourself permission to rest without any guilt at all. This evening rhythm tells your brain that it is time to power down, to stop processing, and to get ready for sleep. You will fall asleep faster, sleep more deeply, and wake up feeling so much more rested than when you scroll right before bed. This is one of the kindest things you can do for yourself, and your whole body will thank you for it. The beautiful thing about rhythms is that they become automatic over time, so you do not have to use up all your energy deciding what to do next. After a while, your body will naturally start to slow down in the evening, and your mind will naturally feel focused during work time. You will not have to fight with yourself to put the phone down, because the rhythm will carry you along like a gentle river. This is the goal, to make living well the path of least resistance, the easiest and most natural way to be. You are not forcing anything, you are just creating a structure that supports the life you want to live. Be patient with yourself as you build these new rhythms, because it takes a little time for them to become automatic. But once they do, you will wonder how you ever lived any other way. Remember that your rhythms are yours, and they should feel good to you, not like a strict schedule you have to follow perfectly. Some days you might wake up and want to look at your phone right away, and that is okay, because you are human and not a robot. The goal is not perfection, but it is to have a loving structure that helps you most of the time, while being flexible when life throws you curveballs. If you fall out of your rhythm, you can always gently climb back in the next day without any guilt or shame. This is not about being rigid. It is about being kind to yourself and creating a life that feels peaceful and good. Your rhythms are your friends, here to support you, not to judge you when you stray. So design them with love and let them carry you gently through your beautiful days. Chapter 14. What to do with all that extra time. This is the best problem in the whole world, and it is one that you are going to love figuring out as you scroll less and live more. As you start reclaiming all those little moments and big chunks of time that used to disappear into your screen, you will suddenly find yourself with extra time on your hands. At first, it might feel a little strange, like you have forgotten something or you should be doing something productive. But this extra time is actually a gift, a wide open space where you can put all the things that truly matter to you and bring you real joy. This chapter is all about brainstorming wonderful ways to fill that time with activities that make you feel alive, connected, and happy. Get ready to dream big and small about all the beautiful things you can do with your reclaimed hours. Your life is about to get so much richer and more interesting. Let us start with the simple pleasures, the tiny things that cost nothing but mean everything, and that you can do in just a few minutes here and there. You can call a grandparent or a friend you have been meaning to talk to, just to hear their voice and tell them you love them. You can write a letter or a card to someone and mail it, which is such a rare and special thing to receive these days. You can sit outside with a cup of tea and just watch the world go by, noticing all the little things you usually miss. You can flip through a cookbook and find a new recipe to try, or you can organize that one drawer that has been driving you crazy for months. These small, simple activities are so satisfying because they are real, they are tangible, and they connect you to your life in a deep way. They fill your heart in a way that scrolling never could because they are yours and you actually did them. Now let us think a little bigger about hobbies and skills you have always wanted to try, but never had the time for because you were too busy scrolling. Have you always wanted to learn to play the guitar, to speak another language, or to paint with watercolors? Now you have the time to start, even if it is just for 15 minutes a day, and you do not have to be good at it to enjoy it completely. You could join a local group that meets to do something you love, like a knitting circle, a hiking club, or a volunteer organization that helps people in need. You could start a garden, even if it is just a few pots on a balcony, and watch things grow under your care and attention. You could learn to bake bread, to fix things around the house, or to identify the birds that visit your yard. These hobbies will give you so much more satisfaction than any game on your phone ever could, because they are real skills that you are building with your own two hands. Do not forget about the people in your life, because they are the ones who will make your extra time the most meaningful and wonderful of all. You can plan regular game nights with your family, where you put away all screens and just laugh and play together for a few hours. You can go on little adventures with your friends, like exploring a part of town you have never been to, or going for a hike in a nearby park. You can offer to help a neighbor with something they need, or you can volunteer your time to a cause that matters to you. You can have long, slow dinners where you talk and laugh and linger at the table long after the food is gone. These moments with people are the ones you will look back on and treasure when you are old, not the hours you spent scrolling alone. Invest your extra time in the people you love, and watch your relationships grow deeper and sweeter than ever before. Think also about using some of your extra time just to rest, because rest is not lazy. It is essential for a happy and healthy life. You can take naps without feeling guilty. You can lie on the couch and stare at the ceiling, letting your mind wander wherever it wants to go. You can take slow baths. You can sit in the sun like a cat. You can do absolutely nothing at all and call it self-care. In our busy world, we have forgotten how to just be, without doing, without achieving, without producing anything at all. Giving yourself permission to rest is one of the most radical and loving things you can do for yourself. Your body and your brain need rest to function well, and now you have the time to give them what they need. So do not fill every single moment with activity. Leave some empty spaces just for being alive and breathing. As you start filling your extra time with all these wonderful things, you will notice that your life feels so much fuller and happier than it ever did before. You will have stories to tell, skills to be proud of, and relationships that feel warm and close and real. You will not miss the scrolling at all, because you will be too busy actually living, actually doing, actually being present in your one precious life. This is the gift that comes from putting down the phone, and it keeps on giving every single day. You have so much time, so much life, so much possibility ahead of you, and it is all yours to fill with whatever makes your heart sing. So dream big, start small, and enjoy every single minute of your beautiful, reclaimed life. The world is waiting for you, and it is so much better than anything on a screen. Chapter 15. Living Your Own Story. Throughout this book, we have been talking about stepping away from the screen, but really, we have been talking about something so much bigger and more important than that. We have been talking about becoming the main character in your own life again, instead of just watching other people live theirs on a tiny screen. For too long, you have been sitting in the audience, watching the show, while your own story waited for you to come back and start living it. But now it is time to get up out of that seat, walk onto the stage, and take your rightful place in the spotlight of your own life. Your story is the only one you will ever get to live, and it deserves to be rich and full and deeply, wonderfully yours. This final chapter is a celebration of you, and an invitation to step fully into the adventure that is waiting for you. The curtain is rising, and the star of the show is you. Think about all the stories you have watched and scrolled through, all the lives you have peeked into through photos and videos and posts. Those stories are not yours, and living through them is like eating a picture of a meal instead of the real food itself. You have been nourishing yourself on shadows, on flat images of other people's highlights, while your own real, three-dimensional life has been happening all around you. But you are waking up now, and you are realizing that your own story is the only one that truly matters because it is the only one you get to live. Your story has joy and sorrow, adventure and boredom, love and loss, and all of it is yours, all of it is real, all of it is precious. Do not let another day go by where you are just watching from the sidelines. Get in the game, get your hands dirty, and live your story with everything you have got. Living your own story means making choices that are true to you, not choices that are just reactions to what you see online. It means deciding what you want, what you love, what you believe based on your own heart, not on what is popular or trending today. It means having the courage to be yourself, even if yourself is a little different, a little quirky, a little outside the lines of what everyone else is doing. Your uniqueness is your superpower, and the world needs exactly who you are, not a copy of someone else. When you live your own story, you inspire others to live theirs too, just by being brave enough to be yourself. You become a light that shows other people it is okay to step away from the screen and into their own real lives. This is the greatest gift you can give to the world, the gift of your authentic, fully lived self. As you go forward from this book, remember that you will not be perfect, and that is perfectly okay, because perfection is not the goal at all. There will be days when you fall back into old habits, when you scroll for hours and wonder where the time went. On those days, just be kind to yourself, take a deep breath, and gently start again without any guilt or shame. This is not a race to the finish line. It is a lifelong practice of coming back to yourself, over and over again, with love and patience. Every single time you notice you have been scrolling and you choose to put the phone down, you are winning. Every single time you choose presence over distraction, you are living your story. Be proud of every small victory and trust that they are adding up to something beautiful and true. You have everything you need inside you right now to live a rich, full, beautiful life, and you do not need anyone's permission to start. You do not need the perfect conditions, the perfect time, or the perfect plan. You just need to start right where you are, with what you have. Look up at the world around you, at the people who love you, at the sky and the trees and the ordinary magic of everyday life. This is your story, and it is happening right now in this very moment, whether you are paying attention or not. Choose to pay attention, choose to be present, choose to live. The world is waiting for you, and your story is waiting to be written, one beautiful present moment at a time. Go ahead, turn the page, and start living. Conclusion. We have come to the end of this book, but you are really just at the very beginning of your new life, and that is such an exciting place to be. You have learned about the scroll traps, the power of your attention, the gift of quiet, and the joy of real-world fun, and now it is time to take all of these ideas and actually live them. This is not about being perfect or doing everything at once, but it is about taking one small step today, and another one tomorrow, and another one the day after that. You have the tools, you have the understanding, and most importantly, you have the desire to live a life that feels rich and real and truly yours. Trust that desire, follow it gently, and let it guide you away from the screen and into the world. Your real life is waiting, and it is so much more beautiful than anything you have been watching. So go ahead, put this book down, take a deep breath, and look around at where you are right now. Notice the light, the sounds, the feeling of being alive in this moment, because this moment is your life, and it is precious beyond measure. The people you love are waiting for you to really see them. The hobbies you have forgotten are waiting for you to pick them up again, and the world outside your door is waiting for you to come explore it. You do not need to wait for the perfect time because the perfect time is right now and you are ready. Stop scrolling, start living, and make this life the most beautiful story it can possibly be. I am so proud of you for taking this journey, and I am so excited for all the wonderful things that are waiting for you just beyond the screen. Now go, live your life and make it amazing.